This is the Oakwyn Podcast, featuring Morgan Brown and Michaluk.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the Oakwyn Podcast. I am your host, Morgan Brown.
And I'm Michaluk, and we have some amazing special guests with us today from Ace Project Marketing. We have Chad, Megan, and Martin. Let's do a little applause for them.
And if you're not watching,
you guys can do a polite wave to us.
Just so you guys know, if you're listening to us on the Spotify or one of your platforms of choice, go look at the YouTube because these guys are beautiful people.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just right off the runway. Actually.
Right off the runway, off the Balenciaga runway. Yeah. No, I'm just joking.
Martin's got a cool claw.
Okay, we're just talking.
Maybe let's not talk about that. Yeah.
The controversy start the podcast.
Yeah. I know. Well,
Thank you.
Well, okay, so we wanted to obviously dive in. First of all, for those who do not know, we have an incredible relationship with Ace Project Marketing. We're so thankful for you guys. Just Chad and Megan, you guys have really given so much opportunity to our realtors, our agents. And I think we just want to know like a little update with you guys first, and then we can dive into the kind of the greatness that's going to come down the line. Yeah. What's new, guys?
What's new? So, we had a very, very strong summer, and this fall has been trucking along. We're still seeing pretty consistent sales. Right. Just a little bit longer with the buying cycle. But we have a few more projects that are doing some mini launches this fall, and then we have a lot for the spring. We have a few towers on the island coming up. Wow. We have some master plan communities. We have some really, really great product in Kelowna, from townhomes to large building sites to a few new wood frame and a few more towers. So we're going to have tons of inventory. And right now, the team's putting their heads down and getting everything ready for the spring market, which it's actually been nice to have a little bit of a slower fall.
Completely, yeah. Chad or Megan, can you just for the new listeners, just remind us, like, what do you guys do?
So Ace Project Marketing, we are a full-service real estate sales and marketing firm, and we specialize in multifamily developments. Yes. So we will take a developer and we'll start at ground level, helping them to find sites and assemblies where they want to execute their projects. And that's predominantly here in the Okanagan and on Vancouver Island. And we also have a niche market where we are specializing in recreational resort style properties. Yeah. So we're out in the Kootenays and hopefully in a couple other very fantastic mountain resorts coming soon. Wow. But keep your fingers crossed.
That's exciting. Yeah, it's always.
I'm
good.
Buying now, guys. You sold recreational mountain. Love. Yeah. So tell us a little bit. So obviously, what you're saying is it's been kind of still moving along up in some of your projects, and people are just taking a little bit longer in their buying period. What should people anticipate for the next year in 2023? What's your kind of predictions for 2023?
Well, with all the developers that I'm dealing with, I'm definitely feeling like, yes, things are obviously a bit slower right now due to the interest rates and whatnot, but there is this, every day the pent-up demand, it grows and grows. And we're seeing the United States start to go on the decline for their interest rates, which is a fantastic indication for us, hopefully next year as well. All of our developers really consistently are gearing up for a big 2023. So we're working with them behind the scenes to get all the ducks in a row and get everything ready to go for a really big year next year.
That's so good. And it sounds like a lot of people are having different opportunities and choices for their clients. And this kind of brings us to the other person that's on this screen / on the podcast, Martin. Tell us a little bit about you guys' relationship and a little bit what you do, Martin.
Yeah, so I work with Waverley Corporate Financial Services. We're an exempt market dealer that offers alternative investment products to interested clients, retail investors, and others as a whole. So our partnership with Ace and ultimately North America Home Finance is we help raise money for their project, Collinson Rise. Okay. So we've been doing that with a project last year called Five Crossings, which was a successful raise and is currently under construction. And right now with this Collinson Rise, that's what we're trying to replicate as well.
That's amazing, Martin. Chad, can you give us a story of Five Crossing, because it was pretty
Yes.
it was one of the most high demand projects that sold last year. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, we were super lucky to have such a great developer with Ryan Tamlin and Millennial Developments. We worked with them for about 6 months to do the money raise for the site. From there, we did an offering with the DRs from Waverley. So they did a campaign to gather, I'm not sure the number, but a number of people that wanted to invest and also get first in line for the pre-sale project when we launched. So this gave the opportunity for the buyer not to just make money on the lift, hopefully, on the units that they were buying, but to have the structure that they can be making money from the moment they put that down. They can move that towards their deposit, and then from there, wait for the building to be built and be making money through the whole process, instead of traditionally putting down a deposit for a pre-sale and then just waiting for it to be built from there. So we were able to take, we released the whole building, and about 45 people that originally put money in moved it over to purchase, and now we're just waiting for their beautiful building with tons of amenities to be finished. Did I explain that right?
Yeah, but no, Mike, you're absolutely right. It was a hugely successful project from start to finish, and that's why it's great to actually reference this project, because it's the same program, the same offering, the same developer, and Ryan Tamlin, who is Millennial Developments. I mean, on a personal level, Ace works very closely with him. He's one of the most stand-up guys you'll ever meet. It's of the utmost importance for him for his investors to get a great return. Everything, it was just such a beautifully orchestrated project with all hands on deck from Waverley, North America Home Finance, and Ace. And as you guys kind of highlighted, it was a huge success in that we did sell it out over the course of a weekend. We were lucky enough to get at least a handful of the Oakwyn agents buyers into it as well. And there was such a huge amount of buyers, or people who did want to buy in that project that didn't get to. And so this is where this project is such a beautiful transition, because it's just steps away from Five Crossings, but it's going to be bigger. There's going to be more variety of unit mix. But it's the same offering. So I think this is probably a really good time for Martin to step in and speak about the magic of that recipe and what we're here to highlight today.
Yeah. Martin, go ahead.
Are we talking about the referral program?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So the referral program is something that was structured between North American Home Finance and Ace through working with Waverley on having BC realtors provide this offering to their clients and getting a commission bonus at the front end and the back end. I'll talk a little bit about the steps and then explain the detail of how those work.
Great.
So ultimately, the agent will connect with the Waverley dealing representatives, myself or someone else that they get into contact with, complete and sign a referral agreement with Waverley to indicate the commission structure and the payouts, and then they would refer their interested client to a dealer representative who will help them with the suitability and complete the application process. Once the investment is approved and funded, the realtor receives a front-end commission of 2%, and this is paid from the invested capital. So, for example, if a client were to invest $100,000, it's $2,000 in commission for the realtor upfront. If that same client decides to purchase a condo, they would initially put 10% down once the condo goes into construction. And another point to note is their investment counts towards the credit towards buying the condo as well. So that investment also counts as a 10%, up to 10% of the price of the condo as a deposit, meaning when they do actually make the down payment, they put 10%, and the final down payment at the very end won't have to be provided because that investment provides that last amount of capital.
Right.
Once the development is complete and the client closes on the condo, the realtor ends up getting the back-end commission. And the back-end commission is a 3% payout on the first $100,000. and 1.15% on the remaining balance. To put it in perspective, let's say someone is buying a condo worth $300,000. Upfront investment of $100,000 will give them a commission of $2,000 upfront. Back-end commissions, the first 3% will give you $3,000, and then the final 1.15% will net $2,300. So in total, you're earning $7,300 from that one person investing, as well as purchasing the condo at the end.
Great.
I think it's a good opportunity here for any interested realtors to.
This is actually a really interesting concept that you guys are developed with Millennial, because you know, most major developers actually do a lot of this initial early investment and LLP investment type of thing, kind of behind the scenes with their friends and family. Really like, I wouldn't say like cloak and dagger, but kind of like, you know,
close
really
friends.
Behind the scenes.
Close friends.
And they invest in the project early on, and basically kind of you know, be a limit. I'm not sure exactly the kind of how the terminology around it for this particular project, but you know, invest early in the project. You know, get first access, and they obviously get first access at homes and stuff like that. So this is stuff that a lot of major developers do in BC already. But the scale, it's more available to us everyday investors, because most of the big developers have like minimums of millions and millions of dollars that are required to kind of engage. But so this kind of is really it should be very interesting to a lot of.
I think it's a great first of all, it's a huge opportunity. Number one,
for sure.
You know, like, this is funny. You think about it, and when I spoke to Megan about it, I was like, you know, when you go to these development pre-sales and you're like, oh, 42% of it's sold out already. That's what everyone is. That's what that cloak and dagger, whatever Mike was just talking about, is, guys. That's what it is. So this gives these guys the opportunity not only for their clients, but also for themselves. Right. And I think that is the beauty of this, is that they could buy their own investment properties with their commissions. They could really put that money towards that. Yeah. And that's everything.
Exactly. You know, but it really boils down, you know, when we're doing these programs, the real estate itself is very, very key and important, and specifically the location. Yes. So can you guys share us about for this project that we're talking about, Martin, why people should buy this location?
Collinson Rise. Tell us about Collinson Rise.
Yeah. Where is it?
Where is it? What is it, guys?
I'm obviously I can talk a little bit about that, but I think I'll pass this torch to Chad, because he's the expert in this field. He's the managing director of Ace Project Marketing as well.
Right.
So it's so Collinson Rise is located in the Capri area. So that's that would be the business district for Kelowna. So right now that's a very up and coming neighborhood. Most of the area around it will be redeveloped. This developer alone has 2 or 3 other sites around it, so the product is going to keep coming out, which is nice, because that shows, for a developer's longevity, it shows quality product, because he's literally building right beside his other sites, as well as some longevity in the neighborhood to make sure they're being conscious of what they're building. So it's the best place if you want to be able to walk to work. It's 10 minutes from downtown. It's 12 minutes from the water. And in terms of bus routes and everything else, it's one of the most accessible areas in Kelowna for all of those needs. And it's giving people a chance to get into the market at a price point that they wouldn't get downtown, the Upper Mission, Lower Mission, or anywhere around in the Glenmore area, by being able to do different size floor plans.
Yeah, no, I was just going to add to that Ryan Tamblin with Millennial, he has had such great success, you know, in getting his projects pushed through approval process with the city council, because he really puts so much thought into what he's offering. So for him with Five Crossings, for example, it was really important for him to have a product that would open the door for a very, you know, particular demographic for which it would otherwise be impossible. So it was important to him to have units and price points that were achievable and attainable for a younger demographic, for, you know what I mean, for a first-time home buyer.
Millennials.
Kind of
for millennials.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit a price point wise, just so people can get a little gauge on that.
Like
what
do
is
they
like
have
a
studios,
price point?
1s, 2s,
Yes.
3s?
What's the price point?
Yeah.
it's quite early on to actually get into the specifics to talk about the pricing of the project. Like at this stage right now, we are in the capital raise preliminary phase of it, but I think that we can anticipate seeing some really nice numbers. Definitely.
What did Five Crossings sell for?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe mention Five Crossings.
Yeah, because Five Crossings was just last year, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what did Five Crossings sell for a regular one bedroom?
First of all, can I just talk about this? I walked through that sales center, people, and it was cool. And Todd, one of the team members and an Oakwyn agent, was able to kind of like show me a little bit about it. It was a very high tech building, like major emphasis went on like really the new age of living, which is big kind of open like tech spaces, gathering spaces, Amazon box package things. Like it was very cool that way. Tell us a little bit about, is Collinson Rise like kind of a different type of development? Do you know much about kind of what type of?
So you're going to have the, with Collinson Rise right now, from what we put together, it's going to have all of those smart features that you got to walk through the sales center. So doing your air conditioning and heating through your phone, locking your door. Yes. If you have guests coming and going, you can see them coming and going from the doorbell cam. Lots and lots and lots of security, because when you have buildings with more units in it, you want to make sure that everything is being kept up to par, as well as very safe. So you're going to see all of that rolled into Collinson Rise, as well as probably a number of larger amenities, just to really make sure that that you're having some sort of a community in these buildings besides just living in your home.
Cool. Awesome.
So can you remind us, Megan, just like what would a one bedroom have gone in Five Crossings?
One bedrooms were mid 300s.
Wow.
But also just to note that Five Crossings was predominantly a micro studio development.
Sure.
And they were very, very
So what did the prices start at?
So you're probably going to look, I'm thinking we're going to be low to mid 300s starting, because the floor plans are a little bit larger in this one, as well as parking is in this building. It looks like we're going to be putting parking with the units and not separately on top.
Need this.
So it kind of puts together the full package.
But it is good to note, just for this, because we are talking a lot about the actual project itself, we definitely will be able to hopefully come on to another podcast and talk about it once we have those details assembled. But just to note that for this particular realtor referral program and like this investment opportunity, you can invest in this and you don't have to purchase the condo.
Exactly.
You can pick and choose, which path you want to take. What I really love about this idea is like, and Martin already said it, but really you're having the opportunity to invest your money and you're putting it to work already. So you're putting it in, you're putting it to work, you're earning interest on it, and then you get front of the line access, which, as you said, Morgan, sometimes it's impossible to get into that queue and to know that you're going to get the unit, any unit, never mind the unit that you actually really, really have your heart set on. So you're getting both, putting your money to work.
That money to work, maybe Martin, you can talk a little bit about like what does that interest look like for some people? Like, I mean, a lot of people are wondering, number one, how much money do I have to put down?
Yeah, what's the minimum?
Like, what's the minimum? And two, like putting it to work, what does that mean exactly?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked that. So I'll go back to what you guys mentioned before. This is access to investments that otherwise high net worth clients would only have access to. This opens up the door to retail investors through companies like Waverley, and this allows people to invest with as little as $10,000, which is the minimum into this offering. To purchase a condo, you have to invest a minimum of $35,000 and upwards, but $10,000 will get you in the door. And the return on investment on something like this, it's twofold. But I'll talk a little bit about just generally what they're expecting. So we're expecting a 54% rate of return over 3 years. So over the entire life of the project, you're earning ultimately, about 54%. Now, that could vary depending on the profit structure that the developer gets at the very end when they realize the profits from the condos. But based on the current pro forma and the current unit structure, that's what they're anticipating as a rate of return. So on a $10,000 investment, 5,400. On a $100,000 investment, 54,000.
Wow. Well, this may be interesting for some of our realtors at the office to kind of consider as well. You know, it's a way to maybe put, you know, if you have some funds on the side, to put some it in real estate and in a development.
Get some cash in the bank, guys.
And
give the money
I just want to. Just one point on that. It's not only open for cash investment, so you can invest with registered plans. So people have RSPs or TFSAs they want to utilize, especially TFSAs on something that earns a lot of high interest like this.
Wow.
TFSA investment would be ideal because you're netting a lot of realizable gains and no tax.
You know, and that's
I'm coming to you guys. Listen up.
Well, that's really interesting because, you know, if for agents that don't have TFSAs and RRSPs, and because they don't want to get involved in the stock market or mutual funds or stuff like that, they can put it into a real estate investment, and that could be, and Kelowna is a city and a place that we really, really believe in at Oakwyn. We
believe in it.
You know, because we bought we bought real estate there. We're opening an office there as well.
I'm buying more, guys. I think it's fantastic up in Kelowna. And I love that there's like little shops opening up everywhere, and it's like a little bit of a slower pace to Vancouver, but then at the same time you can still get all the things you need.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just
throwing
Kelowna in there.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of our agents, you know, that do a lot of business in Kelowna, and yeah, they were just saying that when they bring the opportunity to their clients in Vancouver or, you know, in the Fraser Valley, the scale of it makes a lot of sense to them. The rate of returns are a little bit stronger in terms of cash flow investment, and you know, it really and I have a big belief in the Okanagan and in Kelowna specifically of future growth, and you know, there's lots of great opportunity there. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Tell us a little bit about just timeline of Collinson Rise. Like, you know, if they want to get it involved today and they say, listen, I've listened to the podcast, what do they do, guys? What's the best route for connection to kind of get in with the Waverley North America Finance Ace, Martin, Chad, and Megan?
Got it. Good work.
How do you guys want to tackle this? Do you want me to go through that?
Yeah, as with anything, guys, we will follow this up, and we have a really nice little infographic, you know, layman's term PDF that we'll throw into Slack so people can review it, you know, at their convenience, which we'll follow that up with. But as always, anyone from Oakwyn can reach out to Chad and I in any capacity. Phone us, text us, Slack us, you know, email us, whatever. We'll be able to connect you guys with either Martin or another Waverley representative. But I'll let Martin take it from here.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, ultimately you get connected with a Waverley representative, and it's a two-pronged approach. There's one aspect of it is if the investor qualifies to invest. And, you know, that's why we understand the criteria. And the other aspect of it is if this is a suitable investment for them. Once those two things align, they will ultimately make the investment. We go through the process of subscribing to it. And then, as I mentioned earlier, if someone decides to purchase a condo, there's a little bit more involved into that, and we can get into the detail about it later.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The biggest thing out of all of this, it's giving agents the opportunity to make money, and to keep their client tight from the original investment to moving them to pre-sale to hold in their hand, and them knowing that their client will be first in line for the next investment, and then also to jump into the next offering from these developers and Waverley in general, what sits on their shelf. So when I look at what's coming up with Waverley and Ace in the future, there's stuff on the island, there's stuff in Saanich. There's going to be big towers in Langford. There's a few other amazing areas around Kelowna that if I say what they are, I'll get my hands slapped because I have a huge mouth. So, but there's so much product, so that keeps those people's hands, that keeps the realtors' clients' hands in all of these different areas, but it gives them the opportunity to be making some passive income throughout the whole process and not just focus on the pre-sale.
Love that.
Yeah. And that's actually a really good point, because let's say that Oakwyn agent John Smith comes to Martin with an investor and that investor has deep pockets, and he just wants to throw some of it at Collinson Rise, but maybe he likes some of the other offerings that Martin has with Waverley. Going forward, if that investor of John Smith's continues to invest in various other offerings from Waverley, that is just, as Chad said, the magic words. That's just more passive income for John Smith to continue to procure as, the years come. So I think right. That is obviously like a win-win-win situation. Everybody benefits.
Fantastic.
Right. The referral arrangement applies to all of the products offered through Waverley.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, and I think it's just another, so we talk a lot to our agents about doing what we call to opportunities. So opportunities like this, able to connect with your clients and have conversations, educated conversations about, how to invest early in a project to get front of the line access, but also, just as a route to investment, there's another kind of opportunity for them to be able to have meaningful conversations with your clients. I think is really key and important to be able to do in these times, right?
Yeah, it's so good. And I will say, my very close family member participated in one of the offerings that happened, and they had a very good experience. So I think that you guys are doing all the right things. It's all about strategically not only helping your clients with the real estate investment as they're doing, but it's also just opening their minds up to new opportunities. And that's what this is, which is great. Anything else that you guys are super excited about? I'm still trying to push you guys to, I think in the sense that we're so thankful for you to be a part of our community and our culture. And we're just getting started, really. Oh my goodness. Tell us a little bit, anything else that you guys would like to mention to the Oakwyn family?
You know what? I cannot tell you how amazing the location for the new office is going to be. It is the management team or the ownership team found literally the best location. It has huge traffic. It's going to be able to really bring a sense of community to the office out here. Everybody is buzzing that this is coming. So it's just very nice to hear. And then you'll also have your project office, which is in the Hotel Grand.
Right.
So that's very, very exciting for us, as well as to have more people join the family. So we have, it's exciting for us because we can pull out of some of the new agents to sell the projects, and for us to team up and really work as a very strong team out here. There's so many things happening in Kelowna with the university. University just totaled their, they just ripped down everything so they can start building.
Yeah, it's happening.
So that's UBC Okanagan, right? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So it's going to be a huge site, and that's going to really, it's going to change the skyline, but it's going to keep this community going, no matter what the market is waving around.
We're excited. I feel bad for my brother because he went to the UBC Okanagan Medical School, and it wasn't as cool as what it's going to be. So he's in the first phase of it, but I think UBC Okanagan is going to change it up for a lot of the young millennials to go get their education and pursue growth and learning up there. But again, we're so thankful, guys.
Yeah, we're absolutely so thankful to have, and thank you so much, Chad, Megan, Martin, for joining us on the podcast today. We really appreciate having you and giving us such a wonderful opportunity. And it's so nice to just have amazing community and culture in Kelowna that we're able to have more opportunities for our agents as well. So thank you guys so much for that.
Yes.
Any final thoughts from you, Chad or Megan or Martin?
No, it's just likewise. The feelings are entirely mutual. Thank you as always for giving us the platform to speak about our new exciting opportunities. We always appreciate it. We love working with you and your team, and knock on wood, but I can't wait to see what we do together.
Let's go,
what's
guys.
the best way to get a hold of you, Megan?
For an Oakwyn agent, it's probably easiest for them. Just hop onto Slack.
Right.
I check it regularly.
Slack. Yeah.
But those of you who have my email and phone number, I mean, it's glued to me. Yeah. 100% of the time.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, guys.
Thanks, guys. Oh, Chad and Martin. We only want to talk to Megan.
Email the phone number.
Yes, talk to Megan.
Email, guys. If you are just an Oakwyn agent and you want to know more about this, jump on the Slack, get on that Okanagan channel, and one of the representatives will get back to you for sure, and we'll steer them to the right direction over at Waverley. Thanks again for joining us today,
guys. Thanks for joining us, guys, and thanks for listening. So we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, see you guys later.
Bye guys.